Joe Biden spoke after signing the bill into law, touching on how much time passed since the last time a gun law was made. Take a listen.
I've been at this work for a long, long time, and I know how hard it is, and I know what it takes to get it done. I was there 30 years ago, the last time this nation passed meaningful gun safety laws, and I'm here today for the most significant law to be passed since then, for the last 30 years.
Okay, Jonathan, you talked about gun safety laws and what he did, 30 years ago and what he's been doing, but crime's on the rise. Every Democratic-run city, we just saw what happened over the weekend in Chicago. We hear about this all the time. What kind of job did he do then, and how is this going to make things better?
He did nothing. Listen, Joe Biden is such a liar that now he is comfortable with teleprompt lies, which somebody else probably wrote for him. So whenever Joe Biden speaks, 9 times out of 10, there's a lie or an exaggeration coming out of his mouth. If anything he did curtailed gun violence at all, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in. But we're in the predicament that we're in large part because leftists like himself get control of an area in the country, and then they reduce a person's legal right to carry a firearm. And when they do that, violence goes crazy. And then they haven't done anything about the drug trade. When I was a SEAL in 2000, early 2000s, before 9/11, I was in Central South America training their forces on how to deal with the counter-narcotics, drug trade and movement. And we haven't done anything to stop any of that. If anything, it's gotten worse, along with the border, which we also saw was a problem back then. And all of these things are reasons for the increased environment and increase in crime in the environments in the United States. None of that was stopped by anything Joe Biden ever did.
Yeah, you talk about the amount of violence that continues to go up. Crime, it's going up. I mean, every weekend we hear about this. It's stats in New York City. Let's take a look at these crime stats. New York City, homicides went down a little. Robberies and rapes broke even last year's records in our nation's capital. Washington, D.C., rapes went down, but homicides and robberies were up. What do you think it's going to take to stop this? What would you have liked to have seen in that legislation?
Well, I'd like the police to just be able to do their job. I mean, the reality is, look in Chicago, they can't even chase a criminal now. Look in New York, where like these other liberal held cities, or occupied cities, I should say, they arrest somebody and they're back out on the street within an hour. I mean, this is a real problem. And I've done multiple gun buys in the FBI from people on the street, and those guns are just readily available. And I don't see law enforcement stopping that at all. I don't even see it as a priority for the FBI. Meanwhile, now they're targeting people on January 6th who broke into a building.
Yeah.
So the reality is, if it would not take as much as people think to put a huge dent in gun sales, illegally acquired gun sales in this nation, if they targeted the drug trade, gang, if they just made being in a gang illegal and they punished it with severe punishments, that in of itself would reduce it. And then, starting like the left does, look at the long game. We really need to start going in and getting our youth involved in things other than gangs and social media.
Yeah, and prosecute, right? Those soft on crime DAs aren't helping anything, especially for our police officers who have to keep rearresting these folks. Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much.
Look at New York. Over 200 prosecutors have left in New York because of a soft on crime DA that's now in charge.
I know, absolutely. Jonathan Gilliam, always great to have you. Thank you for your insight.